Hi, Teak Tigers. It's Miss Tremont. Today we are going to be talking about our word problems using our 3 digits, and we are doing subtraction today. So we are going to first warm up our brains to do some math facts. We're going to review some of our money, and then we're going to jump into our lesson. So what we're going to need for today is you need a pencil, and you will also need a notebook. If you don't have these two things, you could also use a whiteboard and a marker or a crayon, anything to write with and something to write on, okay? So if you want to stop this video and you can get those 2 items so we can start. All right, so the first thing we are going to do, I'm going to share my screen with you and I'm going to show you my flashcards. So I'm going to give you a couple of seconds. We're going to see if you can call out the answer. So 15 minus 15 would be 0. Okay, we'll try our next one. 10 minus 10 would be 0. 12 minus 10 would be 2. 15 minus 12 would be 3. 17 minus 8 is 9. 18 minus 18 is 0. 19 minus 19 would be 0. 19 minus 1 would be 18. And our last one, 16 minus 7 is 9. Okay, so we're doing those just to warm up our brain and just to get everything going. So we're also going to review some of our coins and do a couple of collection of coins that we haven't seen in a while. So, but of course, before we can do our collection of coins, we need to be able to identify our coins. So I have my coins here, and as you can see, we have our heads and our tails side showing. We have Abraham Lincoln on my head side, and then we have over here that says 1 cent. And as you know, that this is the penny. We have our nickel. Oops, and I'll flip it over for you. And of course, on the tail side, you'll see that this represents 5 cents, and it has Thomas Jefferson on the head. And that is our nickel. This coin right here, we have our dime. Remember, our dime has Franklin Delano Roosevelt on the front. And it says here that it is the dime, which represents 10 cents. And then finally, we have the big one, the quarter. The quarter has George Washington. And you also can see on the bottom that it says $quarter. So that represents 25 cents. Okay. And so now I'm going to share my screen again. And we are just going to review some of our collections of coins. And so if you can see, I have, oops, share my screen. As you can see, I have a collection of coins here, and we have 25 cents, which is our quarter, and we have our penny, which represents 1 cent. Remember, remember, we can write that, or we can also write it doing our Remember, we do not use those together. We only do one or the other. Okay. Next, we have another group of coins, collection of coins. And as you can see, we have 3 of them. We have a dime, a nickel, and a penny. As you can see, they are grouped. Our nickel represents 5 cents, and our penny represents 1 cent. So when we're counting by 5, we know that is 15. And then we're going to go about 15 cents. Or you, of course, you may write it using your dollar sign and your decimal. So this is the correct way. Okay, we're going to do just a couple more. I'll just move these out of the way. All right, here is another collection of coins. Again, we have a quarter, we have a nickel, and we have a penny. The quarter represents 25 cents. We have a nickel, which represents 5 cents. Penny represents 1 cent. We have identified our coins. We are now counting 5 more. And of course, if you have trouble doing this, you may also use your number card. So if you have 25 and 5 more, we would be at 30. If you need your number chart, you may use it, look at the math in the email that I sent to you. So that is 30. And then one more would be 31 cents. Again, you can write it this way, or you can write it using your dollar sign. Okay, and then finally, we have one more. And this is right here. And as you can see, we have a lot of coins in our collection. We have 3 quarters and we have 3 nickels. Okay. And remember, we're counting by 25s. We're going to do 25, 50, 75. So we have 75. And we'll count by 5s. 80, 85, and 90. Or you may use the dollar sign and decimal to write 90 cents. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing. Hopefully that got your brain going using talking about our coins and also talking about our math facts. So we are now going to get into our lesson, and I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to show you my flip chart. And like I said, today we are talking about one-step subtraction problems using 3-digit numbers. And so I'm going to model you. So we're going to work through it together, and then I'm going to try to give you a couple of problems so you can work on your own. Okay, so remember that when we are looking at our problem, of course, we need to read through it and analyze our problem to find our keywords. So it says Marisol has 756 stickers and Adriana has 241 stickers. How many more stickers does Marisol have than Adriana? Okay, so remember when we're looking for our keywords and when we're looking for subtraction, you're always looking for whether it says how many do I have left or how many more. Because remember, how many more is asking you to find the difference, or you're comparing 2 numbers, so you're finding the difference between those 2 numbers. And you're also looking for as gave, like I gave them away, or I'm going to give them away, okay? So when we're looking at this problem, we can see that we can see the keywords, how many more? So I'm going to underline that, or you may circle it. Oops. How many more? So that is telling me that we are going to subtract. We are going to compare the two numbers between Marisol and Adriana. So down here, I'm going to just put my subtraction symbol. And as you can see, they have given us a hundreds, tens, and ones place value chart to help us keep our numbers in the correct place. Okay, so we need to find out how many more stickers Marisol has than Adriana. So let's find out how many Marisol has. She has 756 stickers. So I'm going to place that into my chart. So I have 700s. Oops, excuse my very terrible handwriting. We have 5 10s and we have 6 1s. So 756. Adriana has 241 stickers. So remember, we are subtracting that amount from Marisol's. And we have set up our problem. Okay, so we have analyzed our problem, we made a plan, and we put our problem together, and now we are able to solve our problem. As always, we start on this side where the ones are at, and we're going to start with 6 minus 1. So if I have 6 and take away 1, we have 5 left over. Our tens place, once we're done with here, we can move over to our tens place. We have 5, and we're going to take away 4. We should have 1 left over. And now we can move to our hundreds place value, which is 7 minus 2, and that would be 5. So it is is just the same as using our 2 digits. We're just adding another place value with the hundreds. So you're still starting at the ones and moving all the way across until you have answered. So we have found out that Marisol, she has 515 more stickers than Adriana. Okay, awesome. So hopefully that is a good intro. I'm going to move on to the next. And we'll come back to this pull card in just a second. I am going to share my screen again, but we are going to look at another problem and analyze our problems together. I have a problem here. If you want to write it down, you can write on your piece of paper. That will be, you can stop this video and write it down right now, and you can watch, or you can watch along. So we have Sammy has 481 pieces of candy. He gives Dominic 175 pieces of candy. How many pieces of candy does Sammy have left? And now remember, we're looking for our keywords: left, how many more, or gave. Okay, and as you can see in our question, it says, how many pieces of candy does Sammy have left? An important piece of information. We need to figure out those numbers. So here's my number sentence, and we need to fill in those blanks. So how many does Sammy have left? Well, Sammy started with 481 pieces of candy. And we are going to subtract the number he did. Remember, if he gives it away, he no longer has it. So he gave away how many pieces? So and we have figured out our number sentence. Okay, we've analyzed our problem. Here's our plan of how we're going to solve it, and now we are going to solve it. Remember, this is ones. And you can if you still have problems keeping that straight, you can always so if it's easier for you to do it this way, feel free to do it that way. Okay? So those numbers will keep you straight. Okay, remember we always have 5. As you can see, we cannot take away 5 from 1. Remember, get 10 more. So instead of 8 tenths, we will now have 10. We took one of them away. Instead of 1, we took that 10 and we're going to break it apart into ones. Now we can solve 11 minus 5. We have 7 minus 7, which is 0. And then our hundredths place. We're going to and that is 3. And so now we have our answer. Handy. Okay. So as you can see, we analyzed our problem. We made our plan of how we were going to solve our problem by making our number sentence. And then we solved our problem. Okay. I'm going to try another problem. So if you want this video, you can write this down so you can follow along. Okay. 255 students went to the zoo Saturday. 167 students went to the zoo Sunday. How many more students went to the zoo on Saturday than Sunday? So remember, we're looking for our keywords. We're looking for how many were left, how many more he gave away. So we're looking for those keywords when we analyze our problem. Okay? When I look at my question, it says how many more? So that is very important because that is telling me we are going to subtract. Now I'm just going to put our number. So here's our subtraction symbol because that's what we're going to do because we have how many more. Remember, when we see how many more, we are comparing two numbers to find the difference. Okay? So what are we going to find the difference for? So 255 went to the zoo on Saturday. And we're going to subtract 167. And now we have our number sentence. This is our plan. Now that we have our plan, we can now we are going to remember, if you don't feel comfortable doing it this way, you may turn your paper and it will help you. Minus 100 can be in each place. Okay. And as always, we start at the ones. 5 minus 7. We know we can't do that. We have more on the floor. We need to go next door. I'm going to go to my tens place, and I'm going to take away one of those tens. Now we have 4 tens. We're going to break ones instead of 5 ones. We're just adding 10 more. Now we're doing 4 minus 6. Well, we can't do that, so we need to go next door and get more. So it's 100. We're just adding that 1 next to it. So 14 minus 8 then now 1 minus 0. So your answer would be, how many more students went to the zoo on Saturday than Sunday? Our answer is 88. Again, we analyzed our problem, we made a plan, and then we solved our problem. Okay. Now, we are going to generate our own problem. So remember before when we were doing our 2-digit, we would have a number sentence. We would generate our own problem. So I've given you a number sentence here. 523 minus 265 equals what? Well, we're going to generate our own word problem, similar to what we did before. So I'm going to give you an example, and then you can try a couple on your own. Okay? So 523 minus 265. So I made a little equation. I said Emma has 523 Barbies. Okay? Excuse me. Rose has 265 Barbies. How many more does Emma have than Rose? Okay, remember we have to use our keywords of left, how many more, or gave. And so I chose to use how many more Emma has than Rose so she can compare those numbers. Okay, so it's very simple, just 3 sentences that you have to use to generate your own problem. Remember that your number our number sentence, so we need to make sure we're using 523, we're using 265, we're using our subtraction symbol. Okay, remember I have 265, and we are using how many more. Okay, so I just generated my own problem using that number sentence. All right, so hopefully you have some practice today. I'm going to stop sharing so I can show you a couple of my flip charts from here. So I'm just going to pull out a card, and I want you to see if you can generate your own problem using this number sentence. So it's already in algorithm form. You have 467 minus 123. So I want you to just take a moment and see if you can make a problem doing 467 minus 123. Remember, you're making your own, generating your own problem using those numbers and that symbol. And if you need to stop this video, you can. Okay, so remember to make sure that you're using your keywords of left, how many more, or gave. If you have any questions, you can always get in contact with me via Class Dojo or email. And if you need math help on your assignments, you can always reach me on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I hope you'll have a great day. See you later, Teen Tigers.